we honestly had no business going and doing an 86-mile paddleboarding trip with the experience level that we had.
Half a mile into our paddleboarding trip and I'm already starting to question, can we even do this? Like, what did I get myself into? I was sick, I was nervous, I was scared.
The point I started doubting the trip was probably during the first 5 minutes.
I'm already starting to think, should we be doing this? Or should we turn around? I knew at the beginning of the year that I really wanted to do some sort of big adventure or something that was really going to push myself, but I wanted to do it with a group of friends. So I invited my wife, Riley. I invited my friend, Bo.
Save that for later.
I invited a few other people, but not too many people really wanted to go with us because it's an 86-mile paddleboarding trip starting at the top of Flaming Gorge, Buckboard Marina, all the way to the dam, taking out there and then putting back into the Green River and doing sections A through C with rapids and everything. And for us, that's far out of our experience level.
Gabe and I have paddled down one river. It was the Provo River. There was no big rapids, something just little you tube down. And paddleboarding down that river probably gave us some confidence that we shouldn't have got.
We didn't have experience doing anything like that before. Just honestly, leisure activity. It was a hobby for us. Bo had like no experience paddleboarding. I don't know if he'd ever stood up on a paddleboard before this, so it was out of our experience level for sure.
So the preparation I personally took was probably none at all.
I helped plan out day by day. I helped get some paddle boards because we had to reach out to some companies because at the time we did not have any paddle boards to even start the journey.
So physically I didn't prepare at all. Mentally I didn't prepare at all. But I went out and bought food, canned food.
As far as preparation, it was more of like planning day by day, planning the food we were gonna take, how we were gonna pack it, and what paddle boards we were gonna go on.
But as far as the physical and mental preparation, I did nothing.
I attempted to do a lot of research online to figure out how to pack a paddleboard for long expeditions, but I found next to nothing. And so it just came down to figuring it out ourselves, just backyard preparation. Putting the dry bags here, how is it gonna feel like this?
Here's my problem with the setup. It is gonna be really top heavy. It looks ridiculous.
We needed to have the tent, the sleeping bags, warm clothes, food, camera gear, all of this stuff on this little board, and we didn't know how we were going to make it all stay just in case we flipped over because we had to plan that we were going to fall off the paddleboard or we were going to flip or something. When it comes down to it, when we got there is when the real test came because we never put it on water.
What are the famous words?
Oh, it's not going anywhere.
See you in 9 days. Hopefully, we don't die.
Buckboard Marina was our first stop, and I remember Gabe and Bo went and got some big Bloody Marys, and they were stoked about it.
Buckboard Marina is a special place near and dear to my heart because they serve the best Bloody Marys that exist.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
This is gonna be...
And we started our trip already with some Bloody Marys. Feeling pretty good.
As we pull up to the dock, we're trying to put our stuff into the water, and there's a line of boats and trailers just trying to get out of the water. And then this girl comments to me and she says, I hope you're not trying to get in the water right now. That'd be a terrible time to get in.
We're here at Flaming Gorge. As you can see, we've got a good south-southwest forecast coming in hot.
And then I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. Like there's lightning over there, like the weather's terrible. Gabe was at the truck, packing everything, making sure everything was ready. And Bo was trying to balance on the paddleboard.
My balance is pretty shoddy, so that was like my biggest concern. And people are trying to get their boats onto the dock, and we're sitting here with 3 paddleboards trying to make sure that it even floats. The point I started doubting the trip was probably during the first 5 minutes.
Feels heavier than normal and a little more unstable, but.
And then we got on and we crossed and like a little part of the reservoir, and then the wind started to pick up and the rain started coming down.
Oh! I think we're staying here.
Okay, it's starting to rain.
The reason why we stopped at the first campsite was purely Mother Nature. The wind was just howling, that thunderstorm was coming in, we were getting lightning closer and closer, the waves were whitecapping, and it was going against us. Everything was coming against us, and we had no choice but to pull off and really just hunker in for the night, you know?
Just waiting out the storm, baby. Just waiting out the storm.
How you doing?
I'm a little cold, but I got my good socks on.
There was a point to where it kind of let up a little bit, but it was later on in the day.
Yeah, I think what I think we should do is like in the morning. So I bet it's gonna be a lot stiller, a lot like calmer in the mornings. I think if we come here and just do our original plan and just like hook this, we just got to put in a hard day tomorrow.
So you're saying sleep here tonight and then?
That's what I'm saying, because we could pack up right now and we could fight this, but like, how much time are we really saving?
It keeps freaking randomly raining.
I can almost bet that it's going to be a lot calmer in the morning. Like if it's like this in the morning, then we need to really come up with a plan and just...
Okay, yeah, so if it's like this in the morning, then we just deal with it.
Then we just have to embrace the suck.
Yeah, I actually agree.
I agree.
Because this sucks. Right
Yeah,
now.
look at it. We're about to get a whole nother windstorm.
Once we only made it 1.5 miles into our trip and we camped there for the night, I really started to doubt the trip, because I knew we had to do about 10 to 15 miles every day in order to meet our goal. And I didn't plan for us to only go a mile for one day. And so I was like, man, are we gonna be able to make up all this mileage the rest of the trip? Are we gonna be able to make that up? Or is our trip over with?
What'd you say?
Said last night I was pretty scared that our boards would be gone. Like,
Really?
We had some pretty big gusts last night. Sure as shit. They made it through the night.
Blast, bro.
No.
I think it's as good as we're gonna get.
I think we should just pack up and get ready to go. 6 a.m. and it's probably 30 degrees outside. Maybe mid-20s. Yeah, what other weather would you paddleboard in other than 30-degree weather?
Day 2 was absolutely terrible. It was so cold, but that was day 2. I had to prove to myself and prove to Gabe and Bo that I could do this with them. So I tried to be tough and I tried to keep up, but it was miserable. Like I didn't want to be there.
Day 2 and 3 paddles were extremely difficult because the water was cold. You have to remember that the lake had just thawed out like maybe a month or 2 before we had done this trip, and the weather is horrible during this time of the year that we decide to go.
Blisters on day 1.
This is day 2, Bo.
Made it into a cove and we were so dead tired. Bo and Riley just laid themselves on the rocks. I kind of wanted to keep going because I knew how much mileage we had to make up.
Gabe actually wanted to keep going, but if he made us keep going, I'd probably kill him.
They would have committed mutiny. They would have mutinized me right there on that shoreline because, yeah, they did not want to go any further. So day 2, we missed our checkpoint again.
Fishing on Flaming Gorge was challenging, needless to say. I mean, the first day I caught a fish, you know, like I was like, oh, we're gonna be catching fish all day. And then I caught nothing.
What is that? Am I hitting the ground? Morning of day 3. It's a little icy. It's probably a good 10 degrees outside, but it's not gonna stop us. You kidding? It's nothing.
So it was still cold, but the water was absolutely glass, so I thought it was heaven. I was like, this is the best. I hope the day stays like this.
Water I've never seen before. Like it looked like you were looking into a mirror. So we pushed all the way into the afternoon, had lunch, and I think that's where we slipped up.
As we went back out on the lake after lunch, the wind started to pick up.
And it was right there. Like we could have met our goal that day, but we wanted to grab some lunch real quick, you know, rehydrate, get some protein in, and then when we went to go back on the paddle boards, we just got hit with this crazy wind.
I don't think we can make it to that. We can't make it to that because the lake is so wide right here. I don't think we should. Do you think you can make it to that? Then sure. Because then we can just hug that corner. We can hug it all the way around, but I don't think there's any way we're making it to that. Do you? You think so? Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, let's see it. I don't think we're making it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go for it. I don't think there's any way.
We were super motivated to get out there and do it again, even amongst all the harsh conditions that were still out there, the horrible wind.
We were super determined to get it to our checkpoint. We could see where we were gonna go, but the wind had other plans for us.
We made it maybe half a mile and we had to stop again short of our goal. So tell me, how was the day?
The beginning of the day was pretty awesome. I had a big lunch. I had 2 packets of oatmeal and top ramen. Made it into this cove because, man, that wind was gnarly. So, yeah.
How are you feeling?
Exhausted.
A little sick?
Sick, exhausted, and I'm about to cry again.
Your face looks super red.
I'm windburned. My lips are chapped. My nose is more stuffy and my throat hurts.
Why'd you come on this trip again?
Because I have FOMO, and I just got over that. That night, I realized that my FOMO wasn't pushing me forward anymore. I was looking for ways out. I was trying to find a road so I could hitchhike back home. I was wondering if I could paddle all the way back to Gabe's truck so I can drive home. I was trying to flag down a boat. There was just so many things going through my mind. I just wanted to get out. I didn't think I could finish the trip.
No, I did not catch anything on day 3 night. I sat out there in the water, cold. They were rising, couldn't connect, you know.
I'm gonna go blind.
I'm freaking tired. I'm spent. Like, we really made up some ground today at the beginning part of the day. Hopefully we'll pick it up tomorrow and go the full distance, you know, because we still got some ground to make up. I think morale is down a little bit, you know. Like, we were so set on getting to Lucerne Campground today, and we're not there. You know, it's like we can see the freaking island that we need to be at, but
It's like super discouraging.
yeah, it's discouraging as hell, and like fishing's been slow. I don't know, man. Just feeling beat up. Like, you can only do what you can control. So we probably have, I'd say, 10 or 11 miles to make up today. Should be anything new for us, but just hoping that, like, we don't have any winds. We're gonna get off and get back to you when we hit our checkpoint today, because we gotta do it. There's no more of this falling behind bullshit.
Good vibes. Day 4 and 5, I was a little nervous because of all the events before, but they proved to be some of the best days that we had that entire trip. The weather was just beautiful, and so all the mileage that we had to make up for that we had fell short on, we made up completely and more in those 2 days.
Bo's first time standing up on a paddleboard. Doing it like a champ. How's it feel?
I love to wake up in the morning, but keep dreaming without waiting. The day is gone. And sometimes I take a walk, then I forget about the clock. I can slow down. wanna lie in the sun. Whoa, lie in the sun. Now I've been to many places and won so many races. I was a child. Yeah. But now my only word is now, and my only word is when I'm by your side. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on napping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun. Lie in the sun, yeah. Lie in the sun, yeah. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on napping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy.
How are you feeling all of this? God damn it.
Stupid. What the hell is that? Oh,
They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun.
We made it. Cedar Springs Marina. Lake part is done. Feel exhausted. Feel a little. Yeah, like I don't think we really put into our minds yet of what we just did.
Yeah.
I think it'll set in about an hour or so. Maybe roll the tape then.
Cedar Springs was a surreal feeling finally finishing the lake part of the section, but it was awesome because we got to go into town and get some food to eat because we all looked like hell. And to finally get ice cream and burgers was great.
look at that juicy.
That was a good bite. This is really good.
Ice cream cone in one hand, French fries in the other.
Life is good for Riley.
Life is so good. Once we finally hit Cedar Springs, I was like, wow, I did it. Like, that's awesome. Except for then I realized we weren't done. We still had to do section A, B, and C of the Green River. And so I don't know if there was a lot of excitement because we hadn't finished it out.
What do you think?
I think it's going to be pretty interesting on a paddleboard.
The river section of the paddleboarding trip was in the back of my mind the entire trip because I knew that was potentially one of the most dangerous parts of the trip. And so that night I went into the tent and I was just watching YouTube videos on the Green River and what rapids to watch out for. In hindsight, I wish I would have done more research because something as little as like having your leash on your ankle during going down a river is extremely dangerous, and I didn't know that at the time. So I knew that there was an amount of ignorance that we were going into the river with, but I didn't know how much, and so that really scared me.
It's pretty wild.
Help me. There were so many emotions going through my head. I was super scared. I thought it was going to be more fun than the reservoir, but then I saw the river and I saw the flow and I saw the rapids and I was super nervous.
A little nervous, a little scared, a little tired, a little horny.
How are you tired?
I was really uneasy. Like, I could barely stand up on the freaking board as is or kneel on it. And now I have to go down this freaking river that's pushing me and I have no control at all. Like, I don't know how to read rivers. I don't know where to go and I'm hitting rocks. Like,
How do you feel?
Good. I had my poker face on for sure because I knew Riley and Bo were both terrified. So I wanted to put out some sort of confidence out there. But deep down inside, I was really terrified.
Yeah, day 6 was awesome. The river was super fun. I would definitely go and do the river again.
All the fear that we had for that day ended up turning into excitement, because coming out of the end of each one of those rapids was just like nothing we had experienced that trip. We were each stoked on each other, and it seemed like all the tension that we had built up just went away when we came out of those rapids.
That's always been one of my goals as a fly fisherman, was to reel one in on the Green River. And like I wanted to fish a lot on the Green River, but you just physically can't, because you're paddling and you're so focused on the river that you cannot be focused on fly fishing, let alone you catch a fish. How are you gonna reel it in when you're floating down the river with it? Fly pole, man. None of this lake fishing bullshit. Literally, first cast. A good uplifting day, you know. It's always fun to catch a fish. It brings morale up.
Day 7, we're exhausted, tired. We want the trip to be over with, and we're just not motivated to cover all this ground that we have to that day.
Knowing that this is the day that we get to go home, I was just pushing through.
Gabe and Bo kept talking about this swinging bridge. That was the end. Yeah, we passed one bridge, and I thought that was it, and when it wasn't, I was so discouraged. I was so sad.
That day, we dealt with some pretty difficult rivers still. It wasn't over. We had about 15 miles, which didn't seem like a lot on a river that was pushing you forward, but with the wind and the elements not on our side again, it was really difficult to just push ourselves through that moment.
I think the temperature just dropped like 20 degrees.
really just wanted to get home and to be done and to kind of realize what I learned. But day 7 was crucial for me because there was a moment inside one of those canyons that I was just by myself and really got to kind of do a self-evaluation and see where I'm at and where I'm going, and it was a good day, you know, like I needed that day.
It was really hard to not think about going home the entire time. I really had to push myself to enjoy that day and to enjoy the little moments here and there. I feel like that was good for me, you know, to find enjoyment in moments that you really don't want to enjoy, because I knew that once it was over, I couldn't come back.
I went into the trip thinking it was a vacation, and I found out that it was more of like a lesson learned thing. I learned a lot about myself. I learned how to push myself to the next level, and it was definitely nice to have people around you that love and support you and motivate you and encourage you to the next level.
We're entering Colorado. Yep. And guess what? That's the bridge. Oh, heck yeah. It's finished. The ring has been destroyed.
We're done. Let's go home.
It's going to be the best sound of the trip right here.
I don't know. I had a lot of mixed emotions. Like there had been day 1, till like day 5, I was just like, I cannot wait to see that bridge. Like that's gonna be so nice to see that and know that I did this and I accomplished this and I'm going home. But when I saw it and I saw my truck sitting there, like I was almost filled with like this kind of sad emotion, you know, like feeling like, dang, this trip is over. And seeing it, you know, it made me almost not want to get into the truck and go home. I just wanted to like almost keep floating down the river because of just what I had gone through.
I was happy to finally get to Swinging Bridge, but it was very bittersweet because I didn't have anything else to look forward to at that point. It was over. I didn't have another rapid to be excited for or something to be scared of. So it was just a little bit of a bummer. One thing I was excited for though was the Bloody Mary waiting for me at Buckboard Marina, going back to get my truck. I was really excited for that.
So where do you guys go tonight?
We go home. We go home.
You do?
Yeah.
Hey Siri, take me to the nearest Cafe Rio. Adieu, my friends. Adieu. I hope I don't see you, both of you, for a very long time. Very long time.
I found out that the thing that limits me are the things I tell myself. And in order to find out what those limits are, you just got to get out there and see what they are.